everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Brianna, and today we are doing my April reset routine, which I'm very excited about because March was a wonderful, fun, exciting, just like overall good month. We were in Florida for the month. Also, the sun is kind of like coming in and out, so I am squinting just a smidge, but I just want to be outside. It's so beautiful. We leave Florida not this Saturday but next Saturday, so I'm trying to get all of my vitamin D and my sunshine and just all things sun still in my body. But I am excited for today's reset because March felt really, really good. I feel like I accomplished a good amount of my goals. I haven't gone through them yet, so we are gonna go through those together, but it just felt like a really great, wonderful, fun, awesome month. We were in the warm sunshine in Florida. I accomplished a lot of my goals, had some really nice time reflecting this morning. I always like to, before my like reset videos or anything, I like to spend some time reflecting. So like you saw in the beginning of this kind of like slight intro, I like to put on a little podcast, get kind of creative, sit outside and just really reflect on the month, start thinking about my goals and just getting into it. Today, what are we doing? We're doing a March reflection. We're doing April goals. We're doing my current favorites. And we're doing a what did I accomplish in March. So grab your beveragino of choice. Mine is none other than the beautiful it girl herself, a Diet Coke, and let's get into our April reset with a fresh cracked Diet Coke. So we are starting out with my March reflection. I took some time, thought of some good questions. I have like a list in an Excel of just questions that I want to think back on or reflect on, and then at the end of the month I kind of pick and choose what questions I want to reflect on rather than make it more rigid, I guess you could say. So these were my March reflection questions. I'm gonna have my March reflection up here on the screen so that you can see it, but the questions that I asked myself this month were: what were you most proud of? What was most challenging? What didn't go as planned? What made my days enjoyable? And my word of the month. So I did 5 reflection questions this month. So let's start out with the first one. What were you most proud of? The first thing I was the most proud of was figuring out my emergency fund. Corey and I were literally talking about it this morning. It is March 29th, and I was like, oh, I don't want to keep pushing off saving for my emergency fund. Like, I just want to get that organized and sorted and do all of those things for it. And he was like, oh, I ended up opening an additional savings account like right online through Bank of America. You should check to see if you can do that through your bank. And I was like, mind blown? Okay. Went this morning, took me less than 60 seconds to open up another like savings account right online. It was amazing. So that was just a huge win. It just was a go to show that even on March 29th, when the month is literally almost over, you can still accomplish parts of your goal. So I was very proud of myself for doing my emergency fund. And then next was my Florida content. I felt like I had so much fun filming Florida days in my life, weekends in my life. We were doing some fun stuff. We went to Disney. It was just a really fun, exciting month for my Florida content, and I'm really proud of what I put out this month. I feel like my videos were getting a lot more views than I feel like normal. Obviously, I do have a few more subscribers, but either way, I'm just very, very happy and proud of that moment. So loved my Florida content this month. What was most challenging? Walking. Walks. I had this goal that I was gonna get up and be a walking girl with my headphones and a podcast and like a cute little walk in the morning in Florida. I did it 3 times out of the 29 days that we have so far accomplished in March. So walking was just a challenge. I was not motivated to get up and go for a walk, and that's okay. It was just like a big challenge I didn't want to overcome and didn't want to keep kind of pushing through. I'd wake up at 7, read a little bit, scroll a little bit, and by the time I kind of rolled over and looked, it was 7:45, and I was like, well, I'm not going to go for a walk now because I want to get ready for the day. I like having a coffee on the deck. So it was just like it was a weird month for the walks, and it was pretty much a challenge. And then the other thing that was challenging was reading. I really didn't read a lot this month besides one book, and then I just started another one, and I think it's really kick-started me out of my reading slump, which has been amazing. But reading, I again had a goal to read 3 books this month and 30 minutes before bed, and I wasn't motivated by that. So it was a big challenge for me. I love to read, and I don't want to scroll on my phone as much, but those 2 goals, we can kind of talk about it when I reflect on my March goals, they just didn't live harmoniously together, and that was just a big challenge for me. Was being motivated by the goals that I had set wasn't doing super well. So I don't know, we revamped it for April, but just like that was pretty challenging. What didn't go as planned? Some of our Disney trip elements, honestly. There were times where, you know, at the last minute my dad wanted to do a sit down and we had to kind of restructure and reschedule our night. Then there was a day that he didn't want to do a sit down, but we had a reservation, so we had to like replan a lot of that. So just some of the Disney stuff on our trip really didn't go as planned, which is not a big deal. I don't want to say that it was, you know, a downside in any way. It's just certain things that Corey and I had originally planned for that we had done didn't really go as planned, which again is okay, but that just didn't go as planned. And then podcasting, we, and I say we, but me especially, was really excited this month for a consistent podcast schedule and like being really motivated and energized, and like we just weren't. I think that we just have not found a groove. We have not found a rhythm. Sorry, the sun's coming in. It's making me kind of like squint, and that just didn't go as planned. We also started not preparing enough for the podcast when we were supposed to. We started getting into little arguments about the podcast, and it just started to not be fun. So that was just something that did not go as planned this month, as Corey and I really anticipated, and especially me anticipated myself. What made my days enjoyable? We wrote 3 because man, was this an enjoyable month. The first is the sunshine. I love nothing more than being in Florida. I love it here so much. I feel like I am my best self in the warm weather, in the sunshine. It is where I am so happy all the time. So sunshine made my days so enjoyable. The warm weather. I love Florida, the warm weather. Needed a Diet Coke sip. I love everything about warm weather, sunshine, feeling heat on my skin. That was so enjoyable and so wonderful to be in warm weather in a tank top. As you see, I've got a little tan going on here. We're also sitting outside, so if there's birds and whatnot chirping, just it's part of the ambiance. So I just love nothing more than warm weather, and it was just so enjoyable to be back in warm weather and be at the beach and all those things. And then mornings on the deck. So I'm currently sitting on my dad's lanai/deck right now, and every morning Corey and I will get up, we'll make an iced coffee, or I'll bring my water outside or a liquid IV, and we just kind of sit and chat for about 45 minutes outside and just get some fresh air first thing in the morning. And that was just so wonderful. It brought me so much joy, and I feel like it kickstarted my day in just the right amount of space. Like normally in the winter it's really hard for me to get out of bed even 20 minutes before the workday, and I feel like here I am like ready to be out of bed. Obviously not walking, that was a struggle, but just getting up and having a nice sip of coffee on the deck has been so wonderful. And then my word of the month was joy. I just felt so much overwhelming, incredible, copious amounts of large things of joy. This was just a wonderful, beautiful, incredible month of just so many things of joy. We went to Disney, we did fun things, the weather's been beautiful, we've like really had no rain, we've enjoyed spending time with my dad. It's just been such a beautiful, joyous month, and that's what I would say about my word of the month. It was just a lot of incredible joy, and we love nothing more than having a joyous month. So with that being said, that is going to be my March reflection, and now let's head into my March goals and let's see where we ended. So let's go ahead and take a look at my March goals. So we had 4 categories: wellness, financial, social media, and personal. So let's see what we actually accomplished and what we didn't. So was buy fresh fruit every week. I did that. Being in Florida, I wanted to eat a lot of fresh fruit and just take in more fruit. It's something that I'm really working towards. So that was a accomplished goal. 30-minute outdoor walk 4 days a week. That was a big fat definitely not, did not accomplish that. 7 a.m. wake ups 3 days. I actually started waking up at 7 a.m. every day because I wanted to sit on the couch. So that was something that I did accomplish. And then eat at home 4 days a week. I accomplished this as well. This is something I didn't want to overdo. I didn't want to overdo eating out because we were in Florida and we still wanted to eat pretty healthy. So it was important for us to eat at home 4 days a week. Next, let's head into financial goals. So first was the $500 emergency fund. Absolutely can check that off, and I'm so excited that I can because, like I said, I accomplished it today, and it's just been something on my mind for a really long time. Pay off my credit card. I did that, and I am so proud that I accomplished that. $500 Disney spending. I definitely accomplished that. And then mindful Florida spending, I'm honestly going to say no. I really looked back and I just did a lot of random Amazon spending while I was here. Not that that's the worst thing in the world, but it was something I wanted to be better about, and I feel like I just didn't prioritize mindful spending as much as I should have. So I just think that that's something that I am not going to fully cross off. social media, 2 Instagram posts a week. Once I post today and on Friday, which I already have my posts queued up and ready to go, then I will have accomplished that. Stay on schedule with the podcast. We did not do that as I had previously talked about. Flexible YouTube schedule, but 3 videos a week still. I did that. This was actually really nice. I enjoyed having a little bit of a flexible schedule. This is something that I had started doing a few months ago accidentally, and I just felt like I really, honestly, I liked it. I liked not feeling like I only had to post on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it just made me feel really happy with just kind of getting to choose when I wanted to post, so I did stick with that. Personal 3 books, did not try that. A new coffee shop or smoothie every week, I did not do that. 2 new Florida restaurants. We did try 2 new Florida restaurants, which was very exciting. We've been trying to really prioritize like one or, once a week going out to a new restaurant or something that we really like. So that's been nice. And then 30 minutes of reading every night. I definitely did not do that. So those are my March goals. I ended up completing 9 of the 15, which I actually think is really good. I'm just getting started in my goal setting and I'm trying to make them pretty realistic. So this is a really good month for me. I feel really proud of this month. So now that we've talked about my March goals, let's get into my April goals. So now let's get into my April goals. I am really excited about my April goals. Something that I got a question on that I talked about in my monthly coffee chat this month. I can have that queued up here as well. Again, the sun is like blinding. I got a question about how I think about and make goals that I feel like are maintainable, or just like doable. And I think it has to do with find your passions, find things that you're really good at, find things that are a challenge, and find a happy medium. Not every goal needs to feel like you're reaching eons far for it, and not every goal should feel like you can check it off like that. So either way, I'm really happy with my April goals. I feel like it's a very good balance of realistic, challenging myself a little bit, but also still figuring out what works for me in my goals journey. So I'm gonna put up on the screen up here my April goals, and we are just going to dive right into it. Also, I feel like I keep fixing this tank top bodysuit, which I absolutely love. I'm also gonna put the camera down a little bit. I feel like we're just adjusting as we go. That's how it works here, and that just feels a little bit better. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna move this pillow out of the way because now it's bothering my arm with the way that I'm sitting, but this is good. We're good to go. Let's dive into it. So April goals, starting out in the wellness category. If you've been following along or know my goals for 2023, I have a goal to spend 730 hours outside, which is 2 hours outside every single day. And in April, now that we're going back to New England, it may be a little bit cooler, it may not, I'm not too sure. However, I'd like to get 30 outside hours, so 1 hour outside every day. In what capacity that is, I don't know yet, right? I don't know what the weather's gonna be, but I really wanna try to get myself out for about an hour a day, or maybe 3 hours on certain days when it's really nice. So I want to get outside more at home. It might be a little chilly, but spring is around the corner, so I wanna get outside a lot more. I want to do 2 walks per week. The idea of that many walks, even in the warm weather, it just didn't feel realistic. I want to be able to, even if it's a quick 15-minute walk or walking around Garden City in Rhode Island with Corey and his family, or taking a walk with my nephew, I just want to try to get in 2 walks per week. No length, no anything, just 2 walks a week and just start moving my body. I'd like to try 2 new recipes this month. I feel like since being in Florida, my dad eats super healthy as well and also has some stomach stuff, so we just try to eat really, I don't want to say plain Jane, but we're not very adventurous. We like what we like, we stick to what we like, and that makes me really happy. But Corey and I haven't had the chance to try some new recipes, so I really want us to try some new recipes this month. And then I'd like to do a face mask every single week, whether that's a face mask during the day, my Laneige overnight face mask. I want to just be better about spending time pampering myself, if that makes sense, doing a face mask, reading a book, and just like really taking care of my skin. I feel like now that I've been in the sun a lot, I just want to make sure that I'm taking good care of my skin, and doing a face mask every week, once a week, I feel like is a good way to do that. And I also love Lush's like natural face masks. I think they are like the thicker ones that go on, so I'm excited for that. Financial goals this month, I'd like to put $300 into my emergency fund. Now that it's set up, we just gotta stick the money in there and just do it. So that's gonna be hopefully an easy goal. $200 in Disney gift cards. We are going to Disney in May, so I want to keep accruing those Disney gift cards to use for spending money. I want to have mindful spending. I am not a mindful spender. Let me tell you, I am really good about ordering $500 worth of clothes and then returning half of it, and where that's fine, I'm not keeping it all. I want to get out of that mindset, and I want to stop ordering hundreds of things from Amazon and like just doing all these things. I'm just not a mindful spender, and I really just want to have a month where we're mindful. We want to start traveling a lot more. We're supposed to be going to Europe this summer. We're going to Disney again. We've got weddings. There's just like a lot of things that are going on, and I want to be a little bit more mindful this month about where I'm spending my money. And then next is I'd like to create a wedding fund, and I'd like to start with $500 in my wedding fund. That is something that I am really passionate about. Is I have our big chunk savings, but I want to also be able to put savings in different areas for different things. One big lump savings, where it's great, I find that I never want to take money out of it. Even though there's a lot of money in there saved, it doesn't feel like I can take money from it. So I just want to start pocketing my money in different areas. Social media, I would like to do 4 photo dumps on Instagram, whether that's from a trip, a weekend, a week, a day, I don't know, but I love photo dumps. I've been seeing a lot of creators do them. 2 of my favorite in particular, like Sarah's been doing some, Carter just did one from New York, a few other creators that I love to follow have been doing them, and I'm kind of inspired to take some of my like hidden camera roll or like unseen moments. I think that's what I'm gonna call it. It's gonna be a new kind of like series I do on Instagram of just like unseen moments that I take photos of that I don't post, and I'm really excited to start that. Next is 2 reels on Instagram for the month as well. I've really been in my reel era right now. I've really enjoyed it. However, sometimes I think I'm just creating reels because I have to, not because I'm interested in it. So just 2 reels this month. Excited to get a little bit more creative with those reels. No phone past 9 a.m. on Sundays. That's supposed to say 9 p.m. So I'm gonna change that, but I wanna do no phone past 9 on Sundays. The idea of really restricting phone time for me is something that I wanna work towards. Now, that's not to say that I'm obsessed with my phone, but I do like being on social media, and I consume a lot of YouTube. I love me some TikTok and Instagram, so I'm gonna start out really slow. No phone past 9 on Sundays. I'm gonna read, really take time for myself, spend time with Corey and my family, and that is a good stepping stone or a stepping block into next month doing less on my phone at night and just throughout the day as well. And then next is I'd like to brainstorm new podcast page. Not that I want to start a new podcast, but really when we started, I had ideas to do, you know, a teaser photo, an episode preview, and quotes. And it just feels really like mundane and stale. So I want to kind of brainstorm what I want the podcast page to become and what kind of posts that we want to create and just things for the podcast page. So I want to just spend, you know, maybe a few hours on a weekend in a coffee shop and just kind of get creative and play around in Canva and just kind of research other podcasts and see what they're doing, because I just want to zhuzh it up a little bit. And the next for my personal is read 2 physical books. That is the one thing I am so excited to get back home to my bookshelf. Where I love my Kindle, I am ready to hold a physical book again, and that is what I cannot wait to do, is get home and be near my library and my bookshelf. I got a ton of thrillers on there, and I am ready to read 2 thrillers this month that are physical books, so I'm excited about that. Single with Friends, there is something in Connecticut in, I forget exactly, it's not Manchester, I don't remember where it is, but it's in Connecticut, and it's called Singo, and it's where they put out a bingo card. It's got a ton of different songs on it. Everyone's is different, and it's songs, but bingo. So I want to do Single with Friends this month. I want to do an at-home date night twice. Corey and I have spent every single night at home with my dad. We've had some alone time where we've gone out, but I'm really excited to get back home, play some nice board games with Corey, and just spend a little bit more quality time together. So I would love to do 2 at-home date nights this month. Maybe one for the vlog, maybe not, but just spending some more quality time at home. And then I'd like to try a new coffee shop. I keep saying, I'm gonna try 2 coffee shops. I'm gonna try a smoothie place. I'm gonna do this. And I haven't done it once. So we're gonna go small this month and just try 1 new coffee shop that I've never been to. Those are my April goals. I am really happy with my April goals this month. I feel like I did a really good job just reflecting and thinking about what's tangible, what feels like it's doable, what feels like it's out of reach, but what also feels like a stepping stone. That's something I am realizing really quickly about my goals, is the idea of reading 4 books in a month doesn't seem energizing. 2 sounds energizing because it seems doable, and if I read past that, amazing. However, I'm finding that sometimes when I stretch myself too thin or too far, I become unmotivated, which is not how I want to feel when it comes to just like goals and things. So that was my April goals, and now let's talk about my current favorites and my new segment, which I'm very excited about, called my Of the Month series. So let's dive into my new segment, which I am so excited about, and this is going to be called my Of the Month segment of my resets. So a lot of people talk about their current favorites, and it's basically my own kind of spin on my current favorites, but I'm calling it my Of the Month series. So my favorite book of the month, or my color of the month, my meal of the month, my something of the month. Welcome to my current favorites, but my Of the Month series. I'm very excited for that. So let's start. I'm opening always my little notebook now. So my book of the month was The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I loved this book. So The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is about Monique Grant. She is a writer at a magazine called Vivant, whatever it is, and Evelyn Hugo reaches out to Monique and says, hey, I would like to do like an article with Vivant, your magazine, but I'm only gonna write it if you are the one who like writes it for me. I'm not going to work with any of your other writers. And she was like, okay. She goes to her house, and Evelyn says instead, I want you to write my memoir, my biography, my autobiography, whatever it is. However, you're not allowed to publish it with this other company that you're working with. You can only publish it with me, and I think it'll be a bestseller. And I'm going to tell you all about my life story and my 7 husbands and why I have them in my entire life story. There's a really amazing twist at the end. I loved it. The thing I loved about this book that was so different from really any book that I normally gravitate towards is this felt like a story, if you know what I mean. This just felt so awesome and honest, and like it just felt really good. I feel like a lot of the times I'm always reading a thriller and it's just a red thread throughout, but this just felt like I was reading a story, and that felt really nice. I ended up rating The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo a 4.75 out of 5 stars. I only knocked that little itty bitty bit because I figured out the ending, and I like to be really surprised when it comes to an ending, so that was my only little caveat for my book of the month, which was 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, but I loved it. My moment of the month is a Disney moment, and that was just checking into a new resort. I had the best time checking into a brand new Disney resort. Corey and I really enjoyed to go, and we've been, I don't want to say stale or like flatlined, but you know, a lot of Disney resorts that we want to stay at are super expensive, and we haven't really tried out a lot of the moderate resorts, and we tried Port Orleans French Quarter at Disney, and just checking into that new resort was beautiful. It was amazing. I absolutely loved it so much. We cannot wait to book another trip there because it was just a lot of fun, and it was just such a wonderful moment of the month to like try something new with my dad and Corey, and it was just a fun moment for all of us to try something brand new, and I loved that. Sorry if the angle changed at all. I don't know if it did. My camera battery was just like being a little funny with the memory card, but my creator of the month, or my favorite creator of the month, is Natalie Zacek? I'm not even sure, but I absolutely am obsessed with her channel. Corey and I are trying to figure out if we want to go to Positano in the Amalfi Coast this upcoming summer in Italy, and her vlogs like popped up right on my channel when I was doing some research, and I have been obsessed with her content. I love her. I followed her on almost like all social media platforms because I have really been enjoying her. So she's definitely my creator of the month. She's someone that I am always excited when they're posting a new video. I've been watching a lot of her old ones, her travel videos, so I have really enjoyed her this month for sure. Next was my drink of the month, or my favorite drink of the month, and that was my pina colada at Disney. It is a pina colada, but they swirl in like a raspberry sorbet. I can throw up like a photo or a video or something of this drink because oh my gosh, it is amazing. I am not an alcohol drinker, but let me tell you, these drinks, life-changing. Love them. I had 4 of them, not in one day, but if I did, no judgment. It was delicious. I cannot wait to go back to Disney to get this drink because it was literally the one thing all month that I just absolutely loved, like beyond. Now let's get into my products of the month. I have 4 things that I have absolutely been loving that I'm excited to share. The first is my bodysuit from Amazon. It comes in a 3-pack. It comes in white, cream, the one I have on, and brown. I got it in a small. These things snatch you in. They are so comfortable. They're extremely stretchy. I do have a shorter torso, so I feel like I always have to kind of pull this up, but that's just because I do have a larger chest and I don't really like when my boobs are out. I just prefer something a little bit higher cut. They're really not low cut at all. It's just my own personal preference, but they are beyond comfortable. I love them so much. I feel like they're so stretchy, they're so flattering, and I have really been enjoying these. So that is number one. My next product of the month that I am loving are my incredible favorite Old Navy little pajama shorts. I wear these things all day, every night, 24/7, and the minute they are dirty, I wash them and then I dry them and I put them right back on. I got them in a size small. I have been obsessed with them, and I literally just ordered another pair from Old Navy because they are my new favorite thing in the world. They're long enough, they're baggy enough, they fit comfortably, they don't ride up uncomfortably. They are just a 10 out of 10. I have been loving those shorts, like more than you can imagine. My next favorite of the month is the dill pickle salad, because I finally found it, and the dill pickle salad is now at Walmart. At least it has been, but we hadn't been able to find it in a while. But this was the full month that I first tried the dill pickle salad. I'm obsessed with the dill pickle salad, and now it's my personality trait along with this bad boy right here. So yes, I am loving the dill pickle salad. And then my last favorite of the month in terms of products is my Uniqlo like sack bag that everyone has been talking about. I'll insert a picture up here. I put it in my latest vlog, but this bag is amazing. It fits my phone, my camera, it fits my wallet, my sunglasses, my flushable wipes, because the girls that get it, my hand lotion, chapstick, hand sanitizer, and more. And if I wanted to wear it like way up tighter, I could, because it's got the adjustable strap, and it is made of amazing quality. So I have it in black and white. I actually bought these at the Uniqlo in Disney Springs, and I was so glad that I finally found them, because you really couldn't find them almost anywhere, and I am just like beyond glad that I found them, because honestly, like, I don't mean to say this, but like Lululemon fanny pack who, because I never want to use another bag, and I am so excited to finally have this bag like literally in my possession. And just like that, we have finished up my April monthly reset. I feel like this was a fun video. I also kind of wish I filmed the entire video in the seat that I'm sitting in, because the lighting is giving me like great vibes on my face, and I'm just feeling myself now, of course, at the end of the video, because why would it be any other way? But I love you guys so much. Comment down below one goal that you're really excited to accomplish in April, or a goal that you have. Thanks so much for being here. I love you all so much. You mean the world to me, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye, everyone.